Hello and welcome to another episode of FPL Expectations with me, Craig. There was a small double game week in 27. It's game week 28, which is just hours away from us. We're looking ahead to it as well as game week 29, where there is a lot of blank games. But we've got some experts in for today's show to help you navigate your way through both game weeks. And by experts, I'm talking about Sam and Joe. Boys, how are we?
Good. How are you?
Yeah. Oh, well, thanks for asking, Joe. I'm actually all right. I'm all right. A little bit tired, but I'm good. Sam, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How about you?
Yes, I'm great, thank you. Joe, I know you've made it from a work call. You've dashed to make it in time. We didn't want you to. We didn't want to delay kickoff, but you made it. So we're all good. We're going to dive straight into it and talk about our double game week 27 teams and how you guys got on. Sam, we're going to come to you first, and this is your team. Tell us how you got on and what you could have maybe done a little bit better.
Okay, so have you shared the screen?
Yeah.
Maybe mine's just a bit late. I haven't seen the screen yet. Hold up.
I can see. I can see your team.
Okay, it's fine. I can finally see it. Okay, so it's mixed, really. Like some of the options came through, like Shaw with the goal, Fernandes with the goal, Gundogan captain scoring, but other than that, it's just meh, really. And every high owned assets that I didn't own, just hold. Kane, 19 points. Cresswell, 12 points. Those two really killed me. And 66 points should be good enough for a green arrow 9 out of 10 weeks. I ended up with a 25k red arrow in this particular one. So, yeah.
25k red arrow, did you say?
Yeah. 25k red arrow.
Yeah. Anything that you reckon that you could have done better for this one? I mean, like you mentioned, you played Shaw, which, I don't think anyone saw that coming. Bruno came back to a little bit of form. Gundogan, okay, got a goal, but, KDB outscored him. But what else do you reckon? I mean, Martinez as well, clean sheet, let's not forget. But what do you reckon, you could have done with the transfers that you were looking at that you didn't make and, they ended up, coming through?
One particular transfer that I thought of making that I didn't make was Salah to Lingard. I ended up backing off because, Jota might play and Salah tends to... I thought maybe, Salah might with Jota, something different might work. Turns out it didn't. Lingard went down and scored. But then again, he didn't score that much. So...
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually missed the penalty and then he scored a rebound.
Yeah, so you got away. You kind of got away with that, didn't you?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, one of the main things we're going to talk about, as the show goes on, is Mo Salah. So I'm not going to delve into him too much. Joe, I'm going to come straight to your team now and have a look at that. How do you get on?
Basically, I took a hit, and I guess I end up at the same points as Sam, 66, 70 minus 4, 66. But, it's quite heartbreaking, really, if you look at my bench. I have Shaw nailed at the third bench, Target at number 2, and Areola actually did 1 point better than Martinez. But basically, I think my most disappointing player, I would say, is Cancelo. I mean, this is the double game week. To score 1 point in the double game week is just like, pure.
But I mean, one of the things I will say in regards to Cancelo is we knew that there was a very high chance he wouldn't play both matches.
Yeah, I mean,
and we knew he was definitely going to play the United one, which was obviously the tougher one. And I think it was Mariner who mentioned it on the show last week. It would have been better if the fixtures were the other way around, with City playing Southampton first and United second. Then you'd have a higher chance of probably Cancelo playing both games.
Yeah, I think I don't know. To you just imagine if it's a team like let's say Fulham or maybe West Brom getting a double game week. We probably wouldn't even bother bringing them in. But
Yeah.
since it's City, we all rush to bring triple up and even or some double defense, which actually went really, really badly. But like for example, let's say West Brom gets a double game week. I reckon their defenders will probably almost definitely score more than one point. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
so it's pretty. I think I don't know. I would say it's sort of like gambling on.
Which we obviously don't do in Malaysia, Joe.
Oops. Yeah, I mean, it's like putting our points or our things FPL team on the line, hoping that actually, if they even play both games, it's already a bonus itself. So
Yeah.
obviously, Cancelo, was the wrong end of it, and particularly painful since I have Target and Shaw on the bench instead of Cancelo. So I mean, I think overall, I think he's probably the player that was disappointing for me. And Kane, after the double game week, I personally as a non-owner got away with it, but finally he delivered a huge haul for the owners. And now I'm probably in the mud, trying to, not sure whether should I actually break my team down just to bring him in. And I had comments on Twitter saying my loyalty for Salah has actually causing a lot of problems to my team for the past weeks. But
we will touch on that.
Yeah, we will touch on that. Yeah,
we will touch on that in the next segment probably. But just going, talking about your Cancelo conundrum and or whatever you'd like to call it. Just looking at my team, and I've got Diaz instead, who played 180 minutes, the full 2 games, and he was only 1 point better than Cancelo and Stones. So I mean, you might as well say you got away with that. It's only 1 point difference. You didn't really lose out by much anyway. Probably on the positive side, I would say, so far for the whole season, I never had double City defense. Okay.
Probably this is probably one of the moves that benefited me.
Yeah.
Because I went De Bruyne instead of going for Diaz. I think before game week 27, for a few days, I was quite set to bring in Diaz instead of De Bruyne. But I end up picking double attack over double defense, and it had paid off. So
that on your part was a really, really good move.
Yeah. Especially since I actually dropped Bruno for De Bruyne. So
yeah. Okay, fantastic. 70 points, -4 for you, Joe.
Red arrow.
Red arrow. So that means both our experts today finished on the same points for the game week. Interesting. Very rare that happens. But we're going to look ahead to game week 28 and 29. Game week 28 is obviously just a few hours away. And boys, I mean, talked about it when analyzing your teams. The Mo Salah problem. What do we do with Mo Salah? He cost a lot of money. He's not returning. And he always seems to do this. He scores in midweek in the Champions League, right? Just to tell us, don't sell me just yet. Keep me. Yep. I'm going to explode. I'm giving you a reason to keep me. And that's what it screams to me, really.
Yeah. I mean, I think he also scored that first leg against Leipzig. So after
Yeah.
he scored in the first leg, I tell myself, okay, this is it. He's gonna start scoring again. But I think ever since then he didn't score until the second leg, if I'm not mistaken. So now we are back. I mean, especially for me, I'm yeah, especially for me, I'm back to that. But I'm just gonna tell myself. I tell myself I'm just gonna give him at least game week 28, because if he blanks, I mean, yeah, I mean I'm already
If he
expecting
blanks,
that.
is that an easy transfer to a Spurs midfielder for 29?
I mean, if he blanks, I'll probably be depressed again. But at least deep down, I know he can't hurt me and give me 29.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, so I think what I'll do is I'll keep him on game week 28, and then after that, if he hauls, it's a bonus. If he blanks, like all water is wet,
Yeah.
and then I will probably at least figure out what to do on game week 29, and I don't have this fear of him actually finally hauls and burns me again
Yeah.
in game week 29. So for me personally, as an owner, since I've already kept him for so many weeks and he burned me so many times, I don't mind being burned for another week before game week 29. But of course, deep down, I still have this little flame hoping that he will haul finally.
But but Sam, I'm not sure if you're in the same boat as Joe in terms of Mo Salah and keeping him. But what I will say is, if he were to haul this week, right, and knowing that he doesn't have a fixture in 29, would you still consider selling him? Or if he gets a goal, is that a reason to keep him, bench him for that game week, and then let him come back for game week 30?
I remember saying in the show last week that regardless of what he does 27, I'm going to keep him 28, sell him 29. The plan hasn't changed.
Okay. So even if
So
he
I'm going
scores a
to,
mad hat trick this game week, he's
even if he
definitely out.
scores 4 and assists 2 and Liverpool wins 6-0, he's going.
Wow. Okay. So you've kind of made your decision right there
I've
already.
kind of made my mind already, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. What other assets should we be looking at for game week 28? And we're going to have a little sneak preview to 29. And why I'm doing that is because when you're making transfers and bringing in assets for 28, you have to consider 29. I mean, it's something that you can't ignore because there are that many blanks. Joe, what are you doing in terms of transfers?
I mean, okay. This is referring to those who are not actually playing their free hit chip on the game week 29.
Yeah.
If you do plan to play your free hit chip on 29, would highly recommend to look at Chelsea assets. Yeah, so that's my take on it. If you're playing a free hit on 29, but for those who are not playing a free hit on 29 or don't have the free hit chip like me, part of me or almost all of me, plans to hold my free transfer for this week and to look and to assess what's going on before game 29 before making my move. But another side of me, have this very, I don't know, cheeky urge to actually sell. To actually bring in Gareth Bale. I know many already did. His price just went up this morning. So that means many transfers are already being done. He's currently 9.5 million, but I sort of have a cheeky feeling that he will probably do well against Arsenal after so long being away from the Premier League, and this is a North London derby. I mean, Yeah, and he's rested. He was rested yesterday against Zagreb, I think. So, just got a gut feel he'll probably return, but whether he hauls, that will be another question altogether. So
whilst we're on the Spurs subject, Sam, I mean, there's been so much talk, obviously, about Harry Kane as usual. Gareth Bale over the last couple of weeks has really come onto the scene. Everyone's kind of forgetting Son. Now, Son was one of those players, who, not too long ago was a must in everyone's team. Is he someone we should still be looking at, or has the tide kind of changed and kind of gone towards Gareth Bale? And does Gareth Bale have an effect on Son Heung-min?
Son is currently my captain for GW28. I think that answers the question.
Wow. So you think there's still a lot of potential, there's a lot of quality there, and I mean, it's a massive differential essentially because, as Joe mentioned, Gareth Bale is the one that everyone seems to be going for, and everyone's kind of overlooking Son Heung-min.
Yep.
The thing is, Arsenal's right side isn't really that good either. Bellerin or Chambers, none of them are really that good.
Yeah.
So if Son is gonna haul North London derby,
new hero emerges. But I think if I'm not mistaken, if you look at the stats, ever since Bale starts to back in form, Son has becoming more of a creating force. His XG probably just dropped, but his XA went up pretty significantly. But that's because the way Son shifts his position when Bale is making those runs in the box. And Kane is being Kane. He do whatever he likes. He can just go into the box, or he can just shoot from range. It's Kane. So Kane is still a constant goal scorer, or even a creator. He's still doing his thing. It's just there is a what do you call it, exchange in roles between Son and Bale.
Yeah.
With Bale actually making those runs, in the box. So, but that's not to say Son is not a good captaincy candidate. Because,
option.
He's still getting those returns, and like Sam said, Arsenal's right, known to look to be weaker than the left. So Son could exploit that, especially if during the counter attack.
Okay, so we touched on Gareth Bale, mentioned Harry Kane, and Son. Who else do we deem essential for 28, and who also features in 29?
I think somebody asked me this question as well. Any good candidate for game week 28/29? Other than Spurs assets, another team I could think of are Brighton. But the problem with Brighton is, they have good stats, but they're not producing the goods. So that's almost like a trap. That's almost like a trap itself. Good XG, but poor actual Gs. So I don't know. I mean,
attacking wise, there's not really, a lot of Brighton assets that you look at. Okay, Mopai is there, but sometimes he's hot and cold. It's not really Pascal Gross, maybe, but again, it's not one that screams out to you, and something that you have to bring in. I'm going to throw a team out there. I mean, obviously, I think with Brighton, it's more the defensive options that they have. I think one defender who's really been talked about coming into these game weeks is Veltman.
Yep.
For obviously his price point, and he gets quite high up the pitch. Lewis Dunk is obviously another defender who's been talked about for his attacking prowess, obviously from set pieces. But we're not talking about Arsenal assets. and when you look at the likes of Aubameyang, you look at the likes of maybe Saka. I don't know if he's going to start, but Lacazette. I mean, they're decent options that they've got there.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask me about Arsenal assets in terms of attacking wise, Saka is great value. It's just that he played, I think, the full game. The full game in the
midweek.
In the Europa League in the midweek, and he was benched before to be rested for whatever reason.
Has to be said, Arsenal went hard. They went strong. They went strong in that Europa League tie, didn't they?
Yeah, because I can see Arteta actually more focused on the Europa League right now. Because if you look at their position in the league, I don't think they can go for top 4.
Yeah.
And they can definitely, stay in the league, not get relegated. Yeah. But so which is why I can see Arteta actually focuses on the Europa League instead. So I mean, will those main players get some odd benching here and there because of the Europa League? That might be an issue. But yeah, I mean, if you look at Arsenal assets, ever since Aubameyang gets back to his central striker position, he has been producing the goods, as compared to starting from the left. So I would say if you want to choose an Arsenal asset, probably Aubameyang is the prime candidate, and the second is probably Saka. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Sam, I'm going to come to you about Villa and their assets. There's a lot of talk about Jack Grealish. Is he going to be fit? Is he not going to be fit? I think Dean Smith has come out and said he probably missed this weekend against Newcastle. But, there's a very high chance he could come back for the blank game week. And is he someone that we should be rushing to bring into the team? We know about his qualities. I mean, we don't have to say how good an FPL asset he is and how good a player he is. But, the likes of Watkins, kind of goes off the boil. The team doesn't really play as well as they can when Jack Grealish is not there. He's like their talisman. Is he someone that we should be looking to bring back into the team, or are there better options out there?
With Jack Grealish, right? I don't think him being back, we should rush to bring him in, but it will have an effect on Watkins. So that's somebody who we should be looking at, I think. Because Watkins' chances have gone down massively. Even Villa as a whole aren't that good at attacking side anymore. Because you lose your main creator, you lose your main progressor of the ball. You're done. So, yeah, if Grealish is back, Watkins just becomes a better option. Defensive-wise, as long as Martinez is there, who knows what this Villa is. That guy can pull up 12 saves in the match, and you can scrape a 0-0 draw with him at the back. You don't even need center backs. They're brilliant.
Okay, great stuff. Anything to add in terms of players that we haven't mentioned that could be key for 28 and 29?
I mean, other than that, Leeds.
Leeds. I mean, we know about Rafinha, Bamford. I mean, it was a bit disappointing in the last game, wasn't it? I'm sure most of you saw. I mean, the amount of chances Bamford had, he should have had about a couple. Rafinha came close. And it's just like the margins that are so small from them getting like massive hauls, and it really plays with your rank. But they're still a threat. They're still good players. Tough fixture in 28 though.
Yeah, I mean, against a resilient Chelsea side, they are really on form in terms of defense. But if you do have Rafinha and Bamford, and you think I should play one at least. I would go for Rafinha instead of Bamford, because he is still involved in every Leeds attack, and personally, it's one of the reasons why I want to hold my transfer for GW28 is because they are actually pretty good options, like we spoke of in Game Week 29. Whether are we looking at Arsenal assets or do we go all in on Spurs? Mind you, Spurs are having a blank on Game Week 33, which is actually only 3 transfers away from Game Week 29. Let me see.
Yeah.
Four transfers. So if you have triple City assets and also let's say 1 or 2 Spurs assets, that's 5 players or 6 players that's going to be blanking on Game Week 33. So, and you have only 4 free transfers left after that to jumble up your team or move around those players. So that's also one thing to consider if you're bringing in Spurs assets. But yeah, I mean Leeds. I currently I'm still leaning towards holding the free transfer because of Leeds and also Arsenal players.
Yeah. And Sam?
One team that we haven't mentioned yet, West Ham.
West
Both
Ham.
defense and attack. There's a reason why. Can you hear?
Yep.
Okay. So one thing that I was saying earlier was West Ham. So the reason why I wasn't that keen on Arsenal is because of West Ham, and they're actually that really good defensively. So I don't think Arsenal will score against West Ham. And 28, they're facing a United team with no attackers. Our only attackers left are Dan James, Mason Greenwood, and Ahmad. There is no senior attackers. So 2 tough fixtures on paper, but in reality, if you own Cresswell, you might have 2 really good holds. We are bad at set pieces, by the way. We're the bad at set pieces. They have Craig Dawson, Mikel Antonio, and Thomas Suchek. We're gonna concede a set piece goal against them.
Diop as well. Let's not forget.
Oh yeah,
Diop.
There's that. And then there's Arsenal.
And you forgot Antonio.
Oh yeah, there's him as well.
They have some really good assets, but the main asset for West Ham has obviously been Jesse Lingard, who won't be available this weekend due to playing against his parent club. But you brought him in last week knowing that he was going to miss this fixture, but that was clearly a Game Week 29 move.
Yeah, I really like because I personally saw him, in the game versus Man City. Yeah. He was, he wasn't afraid of City at all. Being a former, being a United player, obviously, you should be fearless playing against your noisy neighbors. So he was actually leading the line and attack against Man City, fearlessly. Just one, probably him and Antonio taking the whole defense practically a few times during the match. So I really like what I saw in Lingard. I can't believe I'm saying this. I think like last season or even in the earlier season, we can never imagine us actually talking about Lingard today. But
never mind that. We're not only Lingard, West Ham.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking about relegation 6 months ago.
They must be getting dizzy for being that high up in the table.
Yeah, it's crazy. This season, if you look back, it's actually pretty amazing. I remember starting the season, we were talking about why should we avoid Villa. Villa, they are probably just barely scraped, survive in the league, and they're probably going down. But look at them now, And
Lying.
West Ham definitely. You know, last season they were for a few. I think for a period in time they were the whipping boys, shipping in goals like for fun. You know, and then watching them play at home is actually so bad. I remember actually watching them live playing so bad. But this season, things changed so much. And I mean, same manager, practically the same players. I mean, you know, and with the addition of Lingard, they actually look pretty good in
I
attack.
think no fans helped them a lot. No fans helped them a lot because you don't have like I don't know how many people fit in the London Stadium booing for every bad touch, so you can play without pressure.
60,000.
Yeah.
I think it also
exactly.
helped the likes of Villa, the likes of Everton as well. You won't have fans
Yeah, but-
booing them for every bad touch and stuff.
Yeah, but I think it negatively affected pretty much other teams as well, like Liverpool, Sheffield United. You know, and then an additional interesting story. You know, Chris Wilder resigned, left the post.
Correct.
So who knows?
And a very awkward time as well, isn't it?
Exactly. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not sure whether a change in manager will actually help them, but you know, we'll never know.
Okay, that's quite an insight to assets for game week 20 and 29. So obviously Spurs, Arsenal, West Ham should be the ones you're looking at. Don't forget the likes of Jack Grealish, Rafinha, Bamford as well, because they will all be featuring in both 28 and 29. We're going to move on to the next segment, which is the captain's metric. And now we don't have our usual stat man, FPL Mariner, here with us today. He's too busy socializing, shall we say, tonight. But no matter what he puts in, he definitely deserves a weekend off and a night off. So hope he's having a good time. But he was kind enough to leave us his captain metric, which we'll just have a look at in a minute once I get it up. Just give me a second. And there it is. That is the metric for done by Mariner, obviously, as he does every week. And boys, leading the captaincy metric this week is, or the top four rather, are all City assets. But leading it is the returning KDB. Now, I mean, KDB came back with a bang. You know, this is what we discussed last week. You know, we wanted to gauge him, we wanted to feel him out, see if he's still going to be that Kevin De Bruyne that we saw in the early part of the season. He returned with 2 goals. Could have had a third if that penalty would have been given, which I think, I mean, I still can't believe that wasn't given. But he most definitely would have stepped up to take that penalty. But Joe, I'm going to come to you first. Kevin De Bruyne, over the 2 games that you saw in that double game week, is he back to his best? And should we be? Is he that essential for us to bring him in?
I mean, before I actually saw Mariner's matrix, I actually, you know, like I said, most of me wants to hold the FT, but a little part of me wants to sell KDB for Bale. I don't know why. But after looking at this, I mean, okay. Over the 2 game weeks, you know, actually, De Bruyne's stats were pretty insane. If you look at the first game, although they lost 2-0, he actually made 8 key passes. 8 chances. You know, crazy. And then game week. I mean, the second game, you know, probably he once again he gets fed up and he probably just said, let me just do it. I'll just go for it, you know. So I've seen the goals, especially the second goal. You know, he can dribble. He can just skip around and place those shots. But I think this is his 3rd open play goal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I think before this game week we were all saying, you know, De Bruyne had only 1 open play goal, and you know, thing blah 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 blah. But then he came with a brace. So, I mean, I don't know. Personally, I'm probably not going to. I don't know. I personally, I'm having my armband on Salah.
Yeah. You had it on Salah.
yeah.
I think
Almost honest.
I think it was. I think it's Mariner as well who's given the armband to Salah. If we saw net the Hall last night, and I think FPL Lens as well has done the same. So I mean, there must be something in Mo Salah which I'm clearly not seeing. But Sam, I mean, Gundogan, who obviously has had an amazing period whilst Kevin De Bruyne has been injured. He's right up there, as is the informed Riyad Mahrez. Let's just talk about those two, Gundogan and Mahrez. Now, Gundogan, I mentioned it earlier. You know, does Kevin De Bruyne's return impact Ilkay Gundogan's presence in the box?
It did a bit from what I saw. It kind of did. You get what I mean? Like, it isn't. How do I put this? I don't know how to put it in I can't. Okay, just say. Let's say he just. Okay, I don't know what to. I'm thinking something I don't know how to say. That's the problem.
All right.
I can't actually put it into words. Like, it kind of does in a way, but he's still making those runs. He's still getting in those positions.
Yep.
It's just a matter of he's not getting the ball.
Yeah,
that's what
I mean,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the goal that he scored against Southampton, he actually did it at a rebound, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was off the post, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was off the post from Mahrez's shot. So he's still making those runs, and then he's still doing his thing. Coming later to pick up those scraps. But if Mahrez shot actually went in instead of hit the post, then Gundogan would probably blank again.
Yeah,
so,
high chance.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, Gundogan. I mean, I've seen people reporting saying Gundogan plays a little bit deeper with De Bruyne back, things like that. But you can still see him making those runs. But it's just somehow in terms of the points that we're looking at from Gundogan, it is slowly dropping with De Bruyne back. So that's the reality.
I mean, if we look at
right now.
If we look at the metric that Mariner has given to us, De Bruyne has hauled twice, has returned twice. Sorry, he has had 2 returns twice, compared to Gundogan, who's had 3, and Gundogan has had 8 returns, compared to Kevin De Bruyne's 6. It would, I mean, as good as Kevin De Bruyne is, and we know the set pieces probably play a massive role in this, but I mean, should we be looking to get rid of Gundogan? I mean, a lot of people have doubled up on the defense. Should we be thinking of getting rid of Gundogan if we have the funds for Kevin De Bruyne, or do you think there's still more value in Ilkay Gundogan?
I personally, I mean, it really depends on how much value you have tied in him, if you ask me, because he is still really good value for his price. I mean, if you look at other players at similar price range, you're looking at players like, I don't know, Barnes before he got injured, Lingard,
Owen,
probably Saka. I don't know, somewhere cheaper, but
Smith Rowe.
Smith Rowe or those sub 6 million,
something like that.
sub 6 million players, and you look at the team that he plays for. Gundogan plays for City, which has the highest XG of all teams, and he is fairly nailed. He is as nailed as you could hope for in a Man City team. So
Yeah.
based on all these facts, if I'll probably keep Gundogan and until probably if his legs fall off or he got a long injury or things like that. Because he is still great value. Whereas if you look at players like De Bruyne, Salah, or Son, or whoever, Bruno, these are the players that actually, if you look at the players at the same price bracket, they're all pretty good.
Yeah.
And you can easily jump on each other because they're quite similarly priced as compared to Gundogan and all the other options that you have. So yeah, for me personally, I don't see myself selling Gundogan at least for the next few game weeks.
Okay. So that's it. Kevin De Bruyne tops the captaincy metric courtesy of FPL Mariner. Gundogan is a close second, followed by who was it again? Sorry, Mahrez. So the top three captaincy metric is dominated by Man City, following their impressive run of form that dates back all the way to November. But as always, the metric means nothing because we have the real expert in the FPL community, and that is Oliver the Cat. And as he does every week, he has done his pick. And again, this is courtesy of Mrs. FPL Mariner. I don't think I need to tell you too much about that because I think you all know who she is. Let's see who Oliver the Cat has picked for game week 28.
Is it loading?
Can you not see it?
The screen hasn't switched.
Oh, sorry, I can see it. Sorry, a little bit of a technical hiccup there. Let me see what's going on there. Hold on. Sorry to everyone watching there. Okay, here we go. Had it on the wrong tab. Okay, we'll start that again. Thank you, Mrs. FPL Mariner, for videoing this for us. We'll start from the beginning. Can you see it now?
No sound though.
We can see the footage.
Okay.
He didn't go left.
Yeah.
And it's on Bruno Fernandes. So just to throw a spanner into it like he always does, Oliver the Cat. He's quite cheeky like that. But that was Bruno Fernandes for Oliver the Cat. The captain metric says KDB, but Oliver the Cat, says Bruno. So it's a tough one. I mean, we didn't expect him to get any return last week. He managed to get one after 30 seconds. I mean, what's the story with Bruno, guys? I mean, now with Kevin De Bruyne back, Mo Salah also off. I mean, if you have Salah and Bruno, I mean, let's forget about last week. But, leading up to that, you had Salah that was really blanking seriously. Bruno was in the same boat. And these are high-priced assets that we're talking about.
I mean, personally, I don't have Bruno. So I can't even captain him if I want to.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling, Bruno playing at home against West Ham. I think he did well before against West Ham, if I'm not mistaken.
That one half, he created 7 chances.
Yeah. So actually, Bruno is pretty under the radar. If you
Got an assist last night as well.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, that was But the thing
a really good
now,
assist.
Yeah. But the thing now is we don't have an attacker, a senior attacker. Our 3 strikers have 3 full seasons between them.
Yeah,
James,
I mean,
I
expect Martial to be fit. To be honest with you, I think
Wait,
that was.
I thought Oli ruled him out. No.
No. I mean, he was taken out. I think because of that reason, because Cavani's injured, Rashford's injured, so they took him at halftime. But I have a feeling he'll be back.
If Rashford's 50% fit, he will start him. I'm pretty sure.
He did say it was a bit too soon, but we'll see. We'll never know. It's that time of the night where we look to take questions from the community. Boys, I hope you're all ready for this because there's a lot of messages on my right-hand side. First of all, thank you all for watching. As always, it's been an interesting week leading up to this, and I think the next few weeks will have a real will determine really where or whereabouts we're going to finish in terms of overall rank in FPL. So it's an important few weeks, I would say, ahead of the international break. Virgil van Dijk, my captaincy choice is in the mud. I think, after looking at the metric and Oliver the Cat, I think we can agree that, this is going to be one of those weeks where you could see it pretty spread out because there's not an obvious option going into 28. Good evening, everyone. Mustaq asked, is it worth keeping Salah ahead of game week 28? We touched on this briefly when we were talking about game week 28 and 29. The verdict from the boys is if you have him, keep him because Joe has put a lot of faith in him for game week 28. He's actually giving him the armband, as is FPL Mariner, as is FPL Lens. So they must have vote at Anfield because I definitely don't share the same kind of confidence that these do. In answer to that, Mariner himself said, explode if he blanks. That is either how frustrated or how certain he is that he's going to really haul. And so, as I said, there must be something that you guys aren't telling me, but I will be keeping him. Swain is the same. So there's a lot of Salah backers this week, I think. Joe is back. Yes, he missed last week. Failed the late fitness test, but he is back. Virgil van Dijk, no Mariner, no cat pick. Wrong you are, Virgil van Dijk. Wrong you are. Even if there's no Mariner, we still have the metric. We still have the cat pick just for you guys. Obviously, courtesy of FPL Mariner and Mrs. FPL Mariner. Okay, this is a tough one. Start Rudiger ahead of Bamford or start Bamford. Rudiger surprisingly got dropped last time out as Tuchel made a few changes to his side.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, Tuchel mentioned he was rested instead of being actually dropped because Tuchel also mentioned that he played a lot of games. I think every game ever since he takes charge.
I don't think he's missed a game in about 2 months.
Yeah, so this is actually a rest for him.
But adding to that, I mean, the fact that Zuma did really well in his place.
Yeah, and also actually Christensen is slowly back in form. So he's
keeping Thiago Silva out inside because he's fit.
Yeah, I mean, just to answer this question, it's a tough one, but I can see. I mean, this is just a personal feeling of mine. I can see defenders doing quite well in game week 28.
Okay, Sam.
I would start Rudiger. I think Chelsea's defense is way too good. If he doesn't play, you'll get Bamford off the bench anyway. So there's really nothing to lose here.
Yeah.
Did someone say Brighton from Swang? Yeah, I'm not so sure about that Brighton. The more as you were speaking about it, I'm not feeling it, to be fair. I'm just going to say, this is Ali Sofian Ruslan. The only regret is not going with my gut last week as no punt on JWP. Barnes, Osaka, 1 point instead. JWP, double game week with 18 points. Hoping for Saka to haul in 28 and 29. Now, Joe touched on it just now. Saka played the whole game against Zagreb last night. But it is the North London derby, right?
Mm-hmm.
Play. Arsenal have to get their bragging rights.
Yeah, I think he should feature in GW28. But whether will he get any points?
Yeah, remains to be seen.
Exactly.
Sam, we're going to go back to the Arsenal match against Burnley last week, and he actually played really, really well. And I don't know how he's come off that game without getting anything from it.
Yeah.
The thing is, right, I feel like if Saka starts, there's always a chance of return because he's a good player anyways. And I don't really trust Spurs' defense, even though they've looked kind of good last few weeks. I feel like if Arsenal are going to create something, it has to come through Saka, given that the others aren't really that good anyways.
Yeah. Okay. Just going on from that, Davindra Raj says, Ali Sufyan, trust the process. Saka will come good. Guys, he's not short on confidence or anything. Relax. It just he was very unlucky. That's all it was in that game week.
I think just to add on Saka, I think I'm not sure who mentioned this. I've heard it from somewhere. It says Saka is actually a good player for the Premier League, but not so good for the FPL. I'm not sure. I'm just looking at his stats. I think he actually did have two double-digit hauls, but just recently he's really tapered off. He only had one return over
since game week 21.
Since game week 21. So I don't know, tough one, but let's just hope for the best for him.
Well, he is cheap. He should be in everyone's team. If you have a wild card, if you have a chip to use going into 29, maybe a free hit or something, Saka should be in that. Speaking of teams that are playing badly, not to say that Arsenal were, but Swing says Newcastle are the new shit team. Should we be captaining everyone that plays Newcastle then?
Every defender that plays Newcastle.
Every striker that's up against Newcastle, we should be captaining, right?
Or every defender.
Defender. That's a
Martinez captain. There's a shout right there. Speaking of captaincy, Mustak goes, wow, KDB is a leading captain. I'm concerned how good Fulham are defensively. And that's a really good point there.
Yeah.
I mean, Fulham aren't the whipping boys that we saw at the start of the season, where we were just straight away, West Brom and Fulham, they're definitely gone. Scott Parker's actually done a remarkable job in kind of reviving them and making them a solid outfit, a solid team to break down. So they have look good defensively. However, it is Man City. It is Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, we're talking about fantastic world-class players here.
Oh yeah. One thing on Fulham's defense, right? Since the start of the year, only teams who've conceded more goals than Fulham who've conceded less goals than Fulham are Arsenal, Man United, Man City, and Chelsea.
That's crazy.
They are good. They're good.
But are they that good that they can keep City at bay?
I mean, I've just looked at their stats. I think they haven't conceded more than 2 goals since game week 10.
They have a lot of 1-1 draws, I think.
Yeah, they have. They have a lot of 1-1 draws, 0-0. But they don't. The last time they concede more than 2 goals is game week 9 against Everton.
Wait, they didn't. What? Isn't it like game week 21? What's wrong? It was a 2-2 draw, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they didn't concede more than 2 goals.
Oh, more than 2. I thought it was 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, more than 2 is game week 9.
Yeah, game week 9. So that's pretty crazy. But if you look at the reverse fixture, actually KDB had a double-digit haul against Fulham. He scored 1 and assist 1.
Yeah.
And the other person is Sterling, scored 1 and assist 1 as well. So I don't know, because why I thought of actually my case of doing KDB to Bale is actually there are a few there are a few concerns of mine. Firstly, Fulham and their defense, resilient defense. That's one.
Giving
And number
29.
two, I'm talking about GW28. Why I actually thought of selling KDB for Bale, because firstly, Mustaq gave a really good point, concern of how good Fulham are defensively, because they are stats show that they are actually quite good defensively, and the results showing it as well. But yeah, I mean, we are talking about City and this Man City, stats don't matter and things like that. But and we and another reason why I thought of actually wanting to sell KDB is we don't even know whether he will start or not. So that's another concern. That's a real concern, because actually since he came back from injury, he has played 90 minutes in all games, and I don't know. Just got a gut feel. Maybe it's time for him to rest before the Champions League game. I don't know. So
Interesting. We're going to go on to the next question. And sorry, once again, apologies for the metric just now. I did manage to zoom in the end, but apologies for the first bit of it where it looked like it was a little bit too small for all of you out there watching to see. We kind of touched up on this just now. Helixway, can't really pronounce it, but any differential players worth investing from game week 28 to 31. We did speak about 28 and 29, but potentially longer. We touched briefly on Chelsea and how good their assets are and how good they are defensively. But, and there's a but, is Tuchel going to keep rotating like he's done?
Mm-hmm. I think he's talking about players that actually, I assume he includes players that play in Game Week 29.
29 as well?
So if you're looking at differential players, I would still think those with decent fixtures are probably Spurs. Spurs and probably Arsenal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Let me just look at Arsenal. Arsenal playing
not bad.
Fulham. Let me see. Yeah, Fulham, besides Game Week 28, they're actually pretty decent. They're playing Leeds, Villa, and they play Wolves. So besides the Man City game on Game Week 28, they're actually pretty decent in terms of fixtures. So you can look at Spurs and probably Fulham, and probably Arsenal, if you ask me.
So Spurs, Fulham, and Arsenal, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sam, anything to add to that? Any players, specific players?
I was saying about Villa earlier. They actually have Newcastle, Spurs, Fulham, Liverpool. That's 3 decent opponents on Liverpool. And Liverpool aren't really that good either. So
As of now.
As of now.
The thing with Liverpool, like I'm just going to say this while you just touched on it. It's like every week we're like, okay, it's going to turn now. It's going to turn. They're definitely going to win now. And that's exactly what I felt last week against Fulham. I was like, playing at home, they're going to turn it around this week. Yeah, surely. Salah's in for a big haul. I mean,
they looked good for about 15 minutes. They actually looked good for about 15 minutes, and then it all went downhill.
Yeah, so you would think that they got a bit of confidence from midweek after a good win in the Champions League, and they kind of bring that in, and I guess that's why Joe and the other experts like Lenz and Mariner are all captaining him. I mean, I can't see any other reason. I really can't.
One caveat though. Leipzig's defense is bad.
Their centre back just went to Bayern Munich, by the way.
That one, he's actually pretty bad. Upamecano. There's a reason why he scored in both legs, and there's a reason why Rashford scored a hat-trick against them. There is a reason.
All right. This is an interesting one, and it's not really a question, but I've got to highlight it. And the reason why I highlight it is Kai Havertz. I watched him play last week. He actually had a really good game, and then he got mentioned as Prince of the Week by FPL Lens on Net the Hall, and I mean, is it worth a gamble? And that's what he's going to be. Let's be honest. He's going to be a gamble. It's a potentially expensive gamble as well, Kai Havertz. But it's a good fixture. It's a really good fixture for him. And if you're feeling it, or if you play FPL draft by any chance, this could be one to make a real difference to your team.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I've listened to the Banger podcast. Siva really topped Kai up really high. He's going to even captain him.
Cobra Kai.
Mistaken. Yeah.
Cobra Kai, I think they called him.
Cobra Kai. So I think Tuchel knows his strength and his position. So I think Tuchel even mentioned it after the match that Kai should not play at the wing or should not play at the side. He should play as a false nine, and he should be, instead of being behind the ball, he should go to the box. So that, yes, he's a good option, and a really explosive one as well. It's just we probably have to bear with the odd benches here and there, but he is worth a shout, but he doesn't have game week 29.
What are your thoughts on bringing in? Oh, sorry. Do you want to touch on that?
Oh yeah, no. I was saying the thing now is the fact that you could rotate him. Giroud's still there. Abraham, albeit he's injured, is still there.
Well, no.
And I don't. If he plays either side instead of as a false nine, he's not really that effective.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Swan mentioned a couple of hours earlier that he might play false nine again. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, when he came in at the start of the Premier League, Lampard was in charge. Played him on the wing, played him in central mid, played him on the left wing, up front. Played him everywhere apart from that number 10 position, which has always been his.
He played him one game. He played him in one Premier League game as a number 10, if I counted. One.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to invest that kind of money and not play a player in his natural
best
position.
Yeah.
It is quite astonishing. But we move on. Thinking of bringing in a Southampton defender during 28 to 31. Guys. Am I the only one thinking that this could potentially be crazy? Add to the fact that they don't play in 29, do they?
They are playing Brighton in game week 28. They blank in 29. And then after that, they play Burnley, West Brom, and Crystal Palace. Then after that,
I can see why.
Yeah, but then they blank again in game week 23. So basically they have two blanks, game week 29 and game week 33. So they could exploit game week 30 to 32, but I'm not sure whether I want to bring the defense. I would rather bring the attack, like Shea Adams instead of a defender.
Okay. So go for this.
Also.
Yeah. Don't stay away from the defense, but if you're tempted to bring in an attacker, why not? When's Danny Ings back, by the way?
I think Ralph just mentioned him just now. I think he should be back probably at the next one, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
After the blanks?
Yeah. Probably after the blank. Let me just look for it.
So that could be an interesting option there. I mean, if you're looking at attackers, if Ings straight back into it.
Yeah, it says here Danny Ings is on course to return from injury after the international break. When's that?
I think there's another few weeks to
Late
go.
March,
until-
early April, I think. Late March, early April.
Yeah, so probably 30, 31. Game
Okay.
week 30,
Mhm.
31 maybe.
Okay. So there's another option
I'll say
there.
30. I'll say after the blank, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Hadi Ryan asked, do you guys feel that teams in the Champions League and Europa League have a higher chance of rotating in the coming weeks? I'm just going to say this. Yeah, it doesn't really matter if you have a midweek game or not, because if you're a City player, I mean, it does not matter at all. But what about for the other teams? The likes of Liverpool, who've come off a hard one, over Leipzig, the likes of United against Milan, Arsenal. I think Arsenal played away, didn't they, in Zagreb? So there's a bit of travel involved with that. I mean, rotation. What are the chances over the coming weeks?
I think his question was quite general. Do you feel teams playing in the CL or EL have higher chance? Personally, I think yes, they have a higher chance. But how high is that? It depends on the team. So if you look at teams like, personally, I think Arsenal, they have a higher chance of rotation because, like I mentioned, they seem to put their pedal off the Premier League and focus more on the Europa League. Spurs, if you see the lineup yesterday, Kane played the whole match, and came off with the ice pack on his leg, on his knee,
Yeah.
if I'm mistaken. So, we have a higher chance of rotation, but on the other hand, you have to look at a higher chance of injuries as well. So I would say yes, they have a higher chance of rotating.
Sam, agree with that?
Yeah, basically. Also depends on what your priorities are. I think Joe covered that as well. So, yeah.
Okay. Ali Sufyan asked, play Rafinha or Saka for game week 28? Rafinha plays Chelsea, Saka plays Spurs.
But why do you have more than 11 players? Or 28, sorry.
28.
Let me see. Tough one. Personally, I'll play Rafinha over Saka.
Yeah? Interesting. Sam?
I'll say Rafinha. Yeah, why not?
Wow, interesting.
I don't know, Rafinha.
I'm just thinking of how good Chelsea are defensively, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's one. But I think, firstly, because Saka played the full game, in the midweek, and also plus, I don't know, will Saka play in the North London derby? We can't be sure. But Rafinha pretty much nailed, because Leeds don't have a midweek game, and Rafinha is like bang on form. He takes set pieces. He's everywhere. I would say Rafinha plays a bigger role for Leeds than Saka plays a bigger role for Arsenal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
So that's probably why.
Salah or Kane for captaincy. Now this is interesting because neither were featured in the metric, neither were picked out by Oliver the Cat, and neither of you, Sam, I'm not too sure who you're captaining, but I know, Joe, you're not captaining Kane. You're going for Salah. So that's your choice.
I don't have Kane, but if you ask me if I have both players, I'll probably go for the safe side for Kane. But mind you, like I said, Kane came off with an injury, slight knock. I would still think he will play, but
I think Mourinho did say post-match that he's fine. It's just one of those knocks.
I think.
Sorry.
I would go Kane if I had both.
Okay. Sam?
I'd say Kane. Kane's probably if you take out the Man City players, probably the best captaincy shout this week because of his record in the North London derby and also Arsenal.
Yeah.
They aren't that good of a team, anyways. I'm probably slagging Arsenal off too much for once.
Yeah, it's just probably too much. I'm just kidding. I don't support Arsenal, so I'm fine with that. Will Wang says, think I'm going to captain Vardy for his final hurrah before I send him for game week 29. I thought he was retiring the way you were saying. It. But Daff says, all right, lads, thoughts on Havertz for this weekend? We just touched on Havertz.
Go for it.
All right for a gamble for this week. We like it. We do. But probably not a long-term keep, depending on how well he does, obviously. Hey, you're not alone, Joe. You've got some people that follow you. Shakir Mokhtar is going for Salah this week. Although the storyteller Nepal says, I'm captaining Cancelo.
Wow.
If you did that in the double game week, you would have got burned. Benjaraj says,
Dortmund, Rafinha or Bamford? I think personally I'll go for Rafinha.
I'd go for Veltman.
I think we lost Craig.
hello?
Hello,
You guys there?
Craig.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. Okay, you're okay now.
Yeah. Oh, you guys broke up. Did I break up as well? So some technical issues there. I can't seem to get. Can you see the questions?
I think you're. Yep, I think you're breaking up, but I think we answered that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I think he broke up again. Oh God.
Oh no! I don't have the controls.
Who's controlling this?
It was Craig. Okay. Anyway, let us look at the next question. Dunk or Watkins by Swing.
Hey guys, sorry.
He's back.
He's
Welcome back.
Dodgy connection this time. Not too sure what happened there. But I managed to get the question up. I couldn't even see it for a while. Did you guys cover this?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm going Rafinha, but Sam going for Veltman.
Sam's going for Veltman. Interesting. Okay. Virgil van Dijk, very wrong. Mariner coming in clutch. Okay, Swag says Dunk or Watkins.
I'm not sure whether I want to make him go for Dunk again or not.
After you burned him the last time with that free kick.
I answered that question to him 2 hours ago. I forgot what I said. So if you remember what you said, that's my answer.
Personally, I'm going Watkins over Dunk. Yeah.
Okay. Cheryl asked, Bruno, safe pick for game week 28. Since my mini league leader got Bruno, it's either Kane or Bale for captain. Not the worst shouts in the world. But as Joe touched upon just now, if he had a choice, it would be Kane. Sam, if you had to choose between Kane or Bale?
Kane. As I said earlier, apart from Man City, Kane's probably the best option for this week, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and that would answer this question too from Ali Sufyan. Aside from the captain pick, who is the best vice captain? Vice captain. Salah, Kane, Gundo, KDB. So if he was captaining, say, Kane, for example, who would you vice?
Let's say you're not captaining any of these four. I'll probably just go Kane. I'll probably go Salah. Just
Salah.
He's male, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going for a vice captain, you would want the person that's nailed. So besides Kane, that you'll be Salah.
Okay. Is it worth it to buy Martinez for game week 29, or is there a better option elsewhere, and whom? This is Martinez from Villa in goal. It's kind of late if you're kind of jumping on that Martinez bandwagon right now, because I think his price has really shot up since the start of the season.
5.3.
Yeah,
5.3.
It's 5.3 now. I mean, if you're looking at other options, I would probably recommend Areola, because since he has game week 29.
I'm gonna go Robert Sanchez.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Robert Sanchez all in.
Robert. Okay, Sanchez plays Southampton, Newcastle. Then they play Man United and Everton. Yeah, pretty good. Decent fixtures as well.
I think he's only asking for 29. I think, so that's why I only did
Oh.
that. No,
Yes. Okay, my bad. Yeah,
Sanchez plays Newcastle.
Yes, Sanchez then.
Okay, Sanchez it is. We found the guy, Joe. We found him. It was me who mentioned about Saka. Good for EPL, not good for FPL. It was Mohammed Hazik who said that.
Great.
Oh, look who it is. Net that hole with FPL Mariner. Locked and loaded on Salah, boys. If I get a plague of locusts, you'll hear the bubble off KL. It wouldn't be Mariner. It wouldn't be Mariner over the toilet after a heavy night. But yeah, Salah. I mean, this Salah bandwagon is really picking up now. Now that you boys, all the experts, have kind of jumped on. Mohammed Hazik, just following up from what he said just now. On Twitter, he has his secret FPL account. So secret that we don't even know about it. He's trying to say that after a few drinks. He can't even say it sober. Nick, do we think Mahrez will start against Fulham? Interesting. We talked about rotation. We talked about the form that Mahrez is in. He ranks third on the captain's metric. Do we think he starts though, boys?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
Go on. Put your neck out on the line.
Yeah, I think he'll start.
I'd say he starts. He starts.
Okay. Salah will hold this game week. Marked this comment. Says Hazik. You can find the metric on the net that whole YouTube or on my Instagram, FPL Mariner. Yes, if you managed to see it, I did enlarge it at the end, but you can find it on at FPL Mariner's Twitter page. Do also tune in to his channel, give it a subscribe. It's called Net That Hole, and it's really good. A lot of really good information. And on the show yesterday, they had FPL Lens and all about FPL Surya. And it was a fantastic show. So if you're looking in to get a lot more in depth with your stats and an insight to it, do tune in to Net That Hole on YouTube. Mohammed Hazik he's really on this Salah thing. Be very scared if you don't have Salah, guys. What have you done to him? Swing agrees. Kai Havertz is a huge shout for the remaining game weeks. Well, that's depending he plays in the remaining game weeks. Tuchel does love to rotate, and we got to remember Mason Mount did not play; he was on the bench, so we definitely expect him to come back into the side at some point. Would you triple up on Spurs? Kane plus Son plus Bale, the Holy Trinity.
Like I said, it really depends on how many City players you have, because or any other players that blank in game week 33. If you have probably like one or two other players, I think triple up is actually not a bad option because they have decent fixtures up to game week 33. Up to game week 30. Yep, Arsenal, they play Arsenal, then they play Villa on 29, they play Newcastle on 30, and then after that they play Man United on 31, which pretty sure Man United would want the revenge.
Yes, after 6-1.
6-1 trashing. So, who knows?
Funny you should mention that, because when when United got given that penalty last week, and Bruno scored that after 30 seconds, I thought, here we go. Oh, God, it's going to happen again, isn't it? It's going to happen again.
Our friend, shut up or we'll lose 6-1 again.
Yeah. And I just refused to even celebrate that. I mean, I did celebrate the goal, obviously, but you know what I mean. You always just had that going, oh, God. And it was City. You were playing City for crying out loud.
Yeah.
We were beaten for 21 games.
It could be more than 6-1,
Yeah, Norwich City, yeah. All right, on to the next question. Sweng says he's been hurt by Brighton too many times. So I think he's staying away.
You were not hurt by Brighton. You were hurt by Lee Mason, by the way.
Yes, that is very true. It was, it was a controversial goal, wasn't it? It's time for Salah to shine. And boys, that is how we're going to leave it for this episode. Just to say that, another question comes in, so we'll answer it. I'm going to start Sufar instead of Rafinha, Bamford, and Charlie Taylor. First, because Man U are toothless without first choice striker. West Ham are also good defensively. Agree. I think he's asking us if he should start Sufal instead of Rafinha, Bamford, or Charlie Taylor.
Yeah.
I mean, he says that he's going to do it because of
and then he gives the reasons.
MU.
Yeah.
Whether
That's
I
kind of
agree
what
or not.
I said this a bit earlier, I think. West Ham defensively.
You fancy West Ham defensively, didn't you?
Yeah. It's going to be either 0-0 or West Ham will shit out a corner. It's one of the two.
Yeah, I did mention just now that I think just got a gut feel that the defenders would do pretty well in GW28. So,
yeah.
But which defender? We'll see tomorrow.
All right, boys. And on that, we're going to leave it. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to everybody who was watching on FPL Expectations. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, do follow us on Twitter. It's at FPL Expectations. Give this video a like. Give us a subscribe as well. My experts, thank you very much. Joe, thank you for your time. Just about made the show. Best of luck to you for Game Week 28. And of course, Sam, as always, this time it was turned for my dodgy internet connections to kind of kick in. But thank you for coming on to the show and giving us all your expert advice. And I wish you all the best for Game Week 28. And thank you out there for everyone that's watching. Do give all the experts a follow. That's at Samuel_DB_021 and at Joe FPL. Do follow me. It's at Craig Rice 11. Do follow the guys that did help us to put some of the stats together. And by that, I mean at FPL Mariner and at Mrs. FPL Mariner, his wife, who so kindly filmed the Oliver the Cat pick for the captaincy. All the best for Game Week 28. We will be back just before Game Week 29 to see how you got on in Game Week 28 and who you should be picking for the blank Game Week 29. All the best, and FPL gods be with you.